Counselor Accents Podcast. Two school counselors who love their jobs. Oh, and they happen to have Southern accents too. Bless their hearts.
I am Kim Crumley.
And I am Laura Rankhorn.
And together we are Counselor Accents. We are, for the first time since 2019, together in the same room. I want to say studio, but hey, this is not really a studio.
And we're working on our sound because we've been told we sound terrible, and we don't disagree.
Thank you for your input. And maybe they were maybe folks the feedback we're getting is they can't understand what we're saying. Maybe it's not the microphone issue, but rest assured we are in the process of getting new sound equipment, and I'm in the process of getting a new partner. So today we are passing the better mic back and forth, and it is the strangest thing because it doesn't matter. We have been working on this. Laura has an echo sound no matter. We're using the same mic, and it's so weird. Just the tones of our voices make it difficult. So we've got to get that situated. So please pardon our progress. Pardon our progress, which we're always always a work in progress. You know I'm holding this mic, and you will never get this mic. I have the mic. So Happy New Year's. We have saved this episode because we would like to start off our new school year with not a new year at school. Yes. With some ideas of things that we are planning to do, and it might inspire our listeners, our viewers, our billers. Is that a viewer listener? Villaners?
You hand it to me at a point where we've got nothing to say. So I'm afraid that in this episode, you're gonna hear a lot of, like those Christmas plays, like the
kids are up at the play and they're passing. And there's this until you a child is, and then there's nothing while the next one comes up is born, and you're like, what?
And all you hear is that passing of the mic. Yeah. And yes. So that's what's going to happen. But like Kim said, we did try it from various points, like of proximity to the microphone. No matter where you stand in our studio, your voice is barreling, and my voice is so dainty.
You are a dainty. Contrary to your size. It's an oxymoron. Your voice and your size. You should sound like, and please do your man voice just a little bit.
Well, if I talk like this, then it probably wouldn't echo throughout the room.
But please stop. Don't do that. All right. So today our podcast is brought to you by, tell us a little bit about our sponsor today, and we're going to do something fun with this at the end.
Our episode today is brought to us by a group called So Emo Teacher Box, and they reached out to us on Instagram and said that we have a lot of things in common. We line up with the same things that they believe and teach about, which, social emotional learning. So they do a monthly subscription box, and they asked if they could send us one. And we thought, how fun would this be if we could unbox it live on air? So that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to tell you that I've been carrying these around for about a month in my car, trying to get together with you to unbox these together. And my car smells like a banana. So there's a chance that there are some bananas in here. We don't know what's in here. There's a chance.
It was added not by the So Emo people. But.
Well, I don't know. If a banana was in here, A, it's rotten. And B, that would explain the banana smell in my car.
So we're excited. Let's just go right ahead and get into our podcast today. How about it? So, Laura, and when I'm thinking, I love a fresh start, right? And wow, on the first semester is all I can say. Wowie, it was hold on, and here we go. It was very different than we talked a lot about the trauma, that it was kind of almost like kids were in a shock, or I don't know, but then all of it's kind of surfaced, and we're dealing with a lot of issues. We're in the trenches with you. Just let us say that we are in the trenches with you guys, and every day. And I cannot just tell you how much my fellow school counselors mean to me, because I know what you're going through. We have each other to cry to, and we're here for you guys too. So that's part of why we do this, is just to share ideas and to lift one another up. And we hope that we can make you laugh, and we hope we have made you laugh over the past couple of years, and lighten your load and give you some good information at the same time. But we have a fresh start going into the new year, and we want to talk about some things that we have planned for the new year. And we're not even going to look. We talked about looking back on the things that didn't work well, but we're not even going to go there, because these are things that we've had on the books from summer before school started, but we knew this would happen the second semester of school. So I'm going to see what do you need? Talk to me, Lassie. Talk to me, Lassie.
I knew this was going to happen. This is exactly why I didn't. This is so sad. But maybe our critic that commented about it's your son. Your son is the one that told us we sounded horrible. Maybe this will make your son happy when he's listening to us in his car, which that's a whole other. Yeah. Anyway, now I don't even remember what I was going to say, because I'm so angry now. No, I think I was going to say that I'm really glad that you mentioned that these are things that were kind of in our plans from the first semester. And now, it's okay to say this didn't work. We didn't have time to get to this. It's almost like a new half of the school year means a fresh start, new chance. And some of those things that we didn't get to in the first semester, now we have a new chance when we have a new start.
I see you not wanting to give me the microphone. The thing about what we have learned, especially over the last two.
Okay.
I'm wiping off the microphone where I touched your lip, touched the microphone. This is probably the worst thing we can do. We're not even sitting close to one another, and we're sharing the same mic. I didn't think about that.
I did. I'm like, you got your mask on, but yeah, let's share ice cream.
No, right? So anyway, the thing that we've learned over the last 2 years, among many other lessons that we've learned, is we've got to be flexible. And if you cannot be flexible, and I think teachers and people in education are some of the most flexible people on earth. Flexible as gymnasts, we always say. Olympic gymnast, right? So we have to be flexible. And even as we talk about, so there were things that we did not get to do the first semester. And part of that was my school was shut down for part of the year, for a small part of the year. And there were just things that we had to do differently, and we had to adjust to. And so that's why I say we have to be very flexible. I mean, I know that we lost staff that actually passed away from COVID. And so we've had to emotionally readjust ourselves. We've had to physically readjust ourselves and do things differently. And if we share this microphone with counselors throughout the United States, they would be telling these same stories and then on top of that, just life, all the other things that are going on, these just life. And so on top of what we've had to do. So this next semester, Laura, what I wanted to say is going to, again, look different. We're already hearing some of our friends in other states, they're not going to go back, in person starting out. They're going to start out virtually. So as we said, we keep going. We're still school counselors. We're still doing our job. We're going to do our job. We're going to make it work however we need to make it work. So with that in mind,
nope. I need more.
With that in mind, we are going to unpack this, knowing that these plans may look differently than we think.
Well, and I just wanted to say that I'm so glad that you. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad that you said that, we're in the trenches and we have experienced these things. I mean, when you say the death of a coworker, that happened, that's real life. And so when we go 4 weeks without posting a podcast episode, please know that it's because we are still, we are very much in the trenches, and that's exactly what it feels like. It has felt like a battlefield. This semester has been like unlike any semester that we've ever had. And like you said, if we were to poll all current school counselors, everybody, I believe, would say, yes, this has been unlike any year ever. And so when we go 4 weeks without posting a podcast episode, it is because we are feeling it just like you guys are. And we know you are, because you comment to us and reach out, and you've said some very kind things, and we appreciate that. But we know we're not just sitting in our studio recording podcasts because it's fun. We get it, and we want to provide a service to you guys, and it helps us too.
Yeah, absolutely. So, having said that, we love to share ideas with one another, and so we're going to share ideas with you guys. And I feel better. I've put my mask on because I just feel like you're getting this so close to those big lips of yours. So, let's start off with one of the things that I started in the summer talking about how I'm going to do this and getting ready to do this, and that is I'm going to do parent trainings. And so these parent trainings, I have involved some community leaders in the parent training, and they have secured some gift certificates and giveaways for those parents who will participate. And what we were seeing was that a lot of parents need direction on things like how to file taxes, how to get insurance, how to make sure that their child is fed properly, and the situation. And I can't go into that situation specifically, but enough to say that when malnutrition is real, and just because a student is getting food, it doesn't mean that they're getting food that is nourishing their bodies. And we had a very, very serious, scary situation where a child was just malnourished. So getting food is different than being nourished. And so training parents and on bedtimes and nourishment and those kinds of things, and then giving the giveaways to get them involved. So that is the plan. I can't do this by myself, so I've involved the town that the school is in, and so that has secured the location, which will be away from the school. If we do it in person, it looks like now it may be done virtually, and that's fine too. We'll be getting the same information to the parents. So either way, we need to do that. So I'm excited about that, and it makes you feel like, to me, and I told you this before, I sometimes feel like we're continually band-aiding with the kids, and really the root of the problem is that I'm not getting in bed in time. I am not getting that homework help that I need. And sometimes it sounds weird that you think parents would know this already, and there are a lot of great parents, and I have a lot of great parents at this school, but it's almost like I think sometimes our kids can talk our parents into thinking, I don't have to have a bedtime, or other kids aren't going to bed at this time, and it does affect their education. All of this does. So there's more things that we want to talk about. One of them is college. So I'm going to put this to you, Laura, and that's your segue.
Well, I also wanted to say that I know what your makeup of your parents is here at your school, and it's similar to mine, and I would assume it's similar in many of our listeners' schools too. But we've got a lot of grandparents that are raising their kids, raising their grandkids. And so that's a total shift from that grandparent, you can have anything you want. We call them grandparent rules, anything you want, to I've got to shift back into that parent mode. And for some, it's been a long time since they've been parents. And so they need that reminder of, okay, just because bedtime is at 8, but you've got the video game system in the child's room, doesn't mean that they're going to bed at 8. And so just some of those common sense, what we think are common sense, but we just need those reminders to
Yeah.
give to parents
It
sometimes.
gives parents the opportunity to ask questions and grandparents to ask questions about things. But the day we left, got out for Christmas, I had a student whose third grade, his phone was blocked from his parent. And when we found out what all was on the phone, it didn't need to be blocked. Those are things that we need to be able to say, look, this is what's happening now. Do you know what kids are able to get on phones now? Do you know your kids, that the issues of traffic? I just want our listeners to think, if you did a parent training, all the different subjects, it's endless: trafficking, social media, bullying. It just goes on and on and on. And guess what? You don't have to be the one to do the parent training. You facilitate and you host, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you are the person who provides all the information. So think about that. Get some sponsors for food or whatever. And like I said, many of you would do it virtually, but I think that's my plan for the new year.
That is so good. Just when you said trafficking, that just opens up a whole other can of worms, because you think, oh, it couldn't happen here, but it's definitely happened where you are. And I discovered a case too where I was. And so, yeah. But one of the things when you said parent training, I started thinking about our friends at the College Funding Coach, and we met them this past summer at ASCA, and they sent me a sweatshirt because I won the giveaway, which I will always win giveaways. I always win the door prize. Anyway, but our friends at College Funding Coach are ready and willing to do these parent trainings with your parents. So give them a call and we can put their information in our show notes. But that is like, they know more about college than I do for sure. Yeah. And these parents, no matter what age level you are, it's never too early to start thinking about opportunities after school, after high school. So give them a call and they would be happy to facilitate one of these parent trainings for you. All right, moving on to number 2. What's the second thing?
Okay. So the second thing is, this year I started a book study with the staff, and our staff loved the book study. So there are so many books out there that you can use. So we are looking at a couple of different books, maybe let the staff choose. So when we come back, they're going to have a couple of choices, and it's either going to be the Liz Huntley book or Brian Perlman. So they're going to have a couple of choices. And the thing is, these authors, the first book study that we did, the author came on and talked to the staff, and encouraged them. And then they get PD hours. So they loved it. They learned a lot. And it was a book study on poverty. So that really helped them understand the minds of our students. So anyway, think about a book study that maybe something that's current now. And your school, your culture, maybe every school's different, what they need. So that was easy and fun to do. And we did it via, what was it? It's a Google product, and I can't remember. Jamboard. Yeah, we did it through Jamboard. So we would meet, and then they would have questions, and they would answer them, and we would kind of go back and forth on the Jamboard, and they got the PD hours for that. So that's another one of those mindful things that I thought, we can continue to Band-Aid, or let's get to the root of some things. And really understanding our students was important to me, rather than just blazing over issues to find out why these issues are happening. So anyway, that is another plan for this new 2022.
So along with a staff book study, in years past, I have done a student book study, and it's a little bit different, where you ask which teachers want to be involved in the staff book study. I make all students be involved in my student book study. So in the past, I've taken about 15 minutes per week and gone into the different classrooms, and I'll read 2 chapters in a book. The one that I've read the past couple of years has been Kevin Honeycutt, and we had him on our podcast, his book called Midnight Run. Now, this is a book that I would say is more for adults, but I've gone through and I've screened it. It's definitely safe for students, but I do take out a few things here and there, just because I do err on the side of conservatism. I don't know what you would say. I'm conservative. I'm cautious. But I have gone through and taken out a few things that just could bring up some traumatic.
Just those F-bombs.
I take out the F-bombs. I add a few F-bombs where I feel like they're needed for emphasis. But I've done it, and it's just kind of goes along with our theme of everyone has a story. And based on like what you would have seen in the classroom, and if you listen to that episode, then you know that he wasn't a high achiever. He wasn't one of those troublemaking students. He was just very middle of the road, didn't want to draw any attention to himself, but he had a just unbelievable story about what his family was going through at home. And so it just kind of makes students look at their classmates and peers a little bit differently. What I've seen in the past is it opens their eyes. So I'd like to take our Everyone Has a Story theme into the classrooms.
I love that. Love that. So one of the things that we speak on is minute meetings. And minute meetings are wonderful because we find out so much about our students and we get so much data from our students. So if you haven't done that at the beginning of the year, then now is a good time at the beginning of the year to do a minute meeting. Or if you have done one at the beginning of the year, it might be a good time for a check-in. And again, those can be done kind of like you're pushing a survey out. If you can't meet in person, you could do those virtually and send out and just ask those, those basic questions that give you the information and give them an outlet to maybe tell you what has been going on in their life. And it seems so important to students for us to know, hey, did you know I went through this, or that this happened to me? And it's important for us to know.
And we've done it both ways, and I think there's value in both ways of doing minute meetings face to face, where you are having that conversation with them, talking to them. But then we've also done it through an online survey, whether it's Google Forms or whatever. And but there's value because then they're behind a computer screen and they feel a little bit more comfortable sometimes to share those things that they wouldn't feel comfortable to share.
So just remember to check with your supervisor in however you do this, because this is tricky in that you have to make sure that you're asking those not so specific questions. So you're just giving them an avenue to share some things that they want to share on their own, and then in the security of your school system, however, if you're doing it online. So just make sure you check those things out. Now you're talking about doing a staff minute meeting.
Well, when we were coming up with our notes for this, I thought back to kind of a check-in that we did at my school with we've been focusing on social emotional learning at my school, in my school system. And it's just been amazing because it's like my job, while definitely it has its challenges, one challenge that isn't there is the fact that everybody at my school and in my school system gets it. And so when I go into a classroom and say, hey, can we try this with this student? They're like, yeah, absolutely. And so it's just been wonderful. But one of the things that happened when we did a check-in in November, it was our PD day, and we had chart paper up around the lunchroom where we were having our PD, and one of the groups put on there who's checking on the teachers, because we're focusing so much on the students and how they're doing. And, like we said at the beginning of this, it's been rough for everybody, not just students, but for staff members as well. So I thought, that's a good idea. That's a good point. And maybe a minute meeting for teachers would be a good idea through Google Forms or whatever. Just, hey, how are you? What's something that you'd like for us to know? So people want to be checked on sometimes.
Yeah,
and so
absolutely.
I think, and
I
some
think
people,
that's a great idea.
yeah, some people are private, and that's okay
But
too.
that leaves that open for them to share.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited about this. This is, if you've heard me speak about it, my advisory council, and we're going to talk a little bit later more about advisory council. But Laura and I use our advisory council when I say use, I mean, we really use our advisory council to make our program better. What are you looking at? My lipstick
Oh,
fell?
Your lips. I thought it
I
was
put
your
it on,
chair
I
had
put it on
cracked.
over the mask.
I wish
Yeah.
you would. I thought your chair had cracked. and
Really?
I was like, talk
It's
about
those-
my size and stature one more time.
It's those extra 10. Anyway, so one of the things that we, when we met as an advisory council and we talked about what we wanted to do this year, my advisory council puts on an amazing career fair every year, but we're going to do something different this year, and that and I still think it's career relevant, is that we're going to do a volunteer fair. And so our small project, we do a small project and a large project. Our small project was a community vegetable bed. And so we've already got the beds, and the town is paying for that. And we have a master gardener who'll be working with the students. And so they're going to be volunteering their time working in this. And this is 4th and 5th grade, and they're going to be volunteering these vegetables up and giving these out to the community. So that's a small scale. The large scale project is going to be a volunteer fair. And so that volunteer fair, again, the advisory council will take care of all the calling and getting the people here. And so it's a great help, and it's because I know we don't have a lot of time. So, we'll be bringing in, like the animal shelter and, maybe United Way will bring in and have a part of that, and, possibly National Guard or volunteer fire department on all those things. And I think it gives kids a good opportunity to see the value in just giving instead of, always getting, but to give. And also it lends itself to, what do I enjoy doing? Because, we say career is that answer of, a problem that somebody has. And I think volunteering helps answer the need, answer a question that somebody has or a problem that somebody has through that volunteering. So I think that would lead to helping with careers. So I'm excited about that. That's going to take place the last month of school. So we'll be getting that ready throughout this second semester of school.
I love that. I love
Mhm.
that you do that. I love that that's kind of a twist on the career fair
Yes, yeah.
over the
Something
past.
fresh.
Yeah.
Something fresh. Yeah.
Yeah. And like you said, we talk a lot about getting our students to see the opportunities that are around them. I've always said, see a need, fill a need. I know lots of people say that, but that's one thing that I didn't come up with that. I know. I'm sorry.
Had been quoting I put your name.
And that's fine. Continue to do that. But anyway, this is a great way to help them see those needs and
Yeah.
figure out how to fill them. So
Yeah.
very good. I've got nothing to offer in this area. I don't have plans to do a volunteer fair this year. Maybe
But
next year.
That's right. So next we're going to talk about, and Laura, you could have kept the mic for this
Okay.
one, because it's just that we talk a lot about data. So it is a good time to, at the beginning of January, to look at your data so far, to check in, to see how are we doing on attendance, how are we doing on behavior reports, what are those behaviors that are ticking up, whatever data that is important to driving your school forward, and maybe those goals that you set for yourself. Look, now is the time to recheck, take time, and don't feel bad about taking time. That's part of what you do. So take time in January soon to look and see, where is my data? Am I on the right track? What do I need to change here? What do I need to focus on? And it's not a good practice to change horses in the middle of the race, but I think this is one of those years that I have had to say I had no idea what was coming. And so I have had to relook at goals build the plane as we're flying it, because of this type of year. But now's the time to look and see, where are those needs, and am I, do I need to, is there a situation that needs to be taken care of now? So that's through data. That's the only way we know if we're making the difference and how we're making a difference.
And remember that those goals that you set, if you don't reach those goals at the end of the year, that's okay. It's just what did you do to try to reach those goals. But if in the end your attendance rate still wasn't in that, whatever goal you set, or your discipline,
Yeah, and how
academics,
could it
whatever.
be with this
Right.
year? I mean, you got to take all that into
Right.
Yeah.
It's okay. So you don't have to, it's just a matter of, did you do the best that you could with what you had? And so this is a great time to look at that. And don't forget, we have National School Counseling Week coming up, or as we like to call it, Humble Brag Week. And so this is a time where you're going to be sharing some of this data. And one thing that I did after the first semester, I looked at all of the reasons that students were coming to see me. Was it school related? Was it family related? Was it crisis situation? And I put it in a graph because I wanted to see what's bringing them into me. And I found, and I would say this is probably the same across the board, but only 1.9% of student visits were related to school, which I think is huge,
Yeah.
because that means 98.1% of the things that are bothering students to the point where they can't concentrate on their schoolwork until they get it off their chest and tell somebody is not even related to what's in front of them there at school. So to me, that is a huge piece of data that I will be using during National School Counseling Week. Something else that we did this year, we had Eric Bowles and Greg Benner on our podcast a few months ago. And Eric is with the Center for Educator Effectiveness, or CEE, and they have a student survey. So we implemented that student survey at my school, and this is like students' firsthand report of just questions that the Center for Educator Effectiveness, they've put these questions together and figured out how and we'll talk more about it later in our podcast and even bring them back on to talk about it. But we did this survey, and the things that came out of this survey and the way that you can drill down into the data has blown my mind. It has uncovered so many needs within my school. And so during the second semester, from that data from that survey, I know what small groups I need to run. I know which students need to be paired up with a teacher mentor, who needs to spend a little bit more extra time with me. So that is going to be a big focus.
That's exciting. That has got me fired up. That's one of those things that, yes, you try that out, like my volunteer fair, and then I'll be like, yeah, I'm going to do that. So that's the great thing about, that's what we're hoping. Like, I'm inspired listening to the things that you do, and I hope you get inspired by the things that I'm doing. And then you guys inspire us with the things that you're doing. And that's what this is all about, to get that, sometimes we just need that fresh word, that fresh idea to get our juices flowing and get us excited to get back. So we hope that's what we did. We hope this is not overwhelming for you, because this is none of these things. Like I said, we work smarter, not harder. So a lot of the things that we have, other people are helping us get that done. So find something that you're passionate about. If it's one thing, if it's your big thing, and this is what I want to do for the new year. We know you've got plans, and go for it. So I'm excited. Now we're going to unbox our, what am I going to do with this thing?
I think you need to put it back in
Bed holder. Okay, we're going to do this. There we go. Okay, yeah. All right.
Probably need to put it closer to me because of my dainty voice.
I get boxes from people, or surprises from people, and they never end up at Laura's house. So I do appreciate that she did share. That they brought us too. Do we need scissors for this?
I
This
think
is so
so.
exciting.
I think so. Unless
This
you
is
want
a
one of these
school. Where would I find scissors?
fingernails to pop off.
Oh yeah, I forgot you got a lot. Here,
Here, can you take your
Yours.
man hands?
I will get my man hands and take that and do this. And the reason I was pulling around on yours is because the side of it is hashtag
So emo teacher box.
so emo teacher box.
I'm so excited about this.
I am too.
So even just the box
Itself is
so-
just
like it was a minute of just happy, like, it's an endorphin. Whenever I
Is
saw
it?
this on my porch,
It is.
the
It's
box
like,
itself, like we've got
It's
this
so happy
word
looking.
wall here, and it's for those of you that are listening.
excited, hopeful,
It has an emoji on it.
happy,
It's
teachers, social workers,
yellow.
counselors.
Are we doing
Okay.
this?
Yes, let's do this. I'm
All right.
excited.
So,
Got a business card. Mine's pink.
okay, mine's green.
Okay.
And we've got a penguin on top
Yeah.
of the
little
tissue
sticker.
paper. So
Little
I just want to show how this is boxed. It's
If
so
you are
cute.
a-
If you're
if you're-
viewing,
If you're listening,
it smells new. It does not smell like a banana.
it does not. It smells delicious. And
Oh
this is the
my
softest,
Goodness.
softest.
We have a little lovey, a little
Penguin.
penguin lovey.
Oh, it's
Oh my
so
goodness,
soft.
it
It is so soft. And one of the things that I'm doing a lesson on anger,
Uh-huh.
for us, for our stuff that we're doing. And I said one of the things for anger was squeeze something soft.
Well, here
So
you
this
go.
poor little thing, and I
Yes.
thought it could be anything soft, so that's why I just put sweet something soft. That's something
So
soft.
my eyes go to, first of all, we've
Oh,
got lots of
that's okay.
fun shredded paper in here, and it's sparkly. So
It is sparkly. It's not just the
Oh my goodness. Okay, we've got bracelets.
yes, lots of, and your bracelet colors are different than my bracelet colors.
Yeah.
And I think I have more. So
These are so cute.
I'm so emo.
That's what they say. I'm
So
so
if you can see
emo.
those, we have the bracelets that are green and turquoise, and blue and purple and
Oh
orange.
my goodness. Look at how cute this is. Okay,
What
so
is
this is
that?
one of these little bubble pop-it things. It's a keychain.
A poppet.
Can you hear it?
I can.
And it is a penguin.
If I
It's
did
in the
not
shape of a
get one,
penguin.
okay, I'm
There
sorry.
it is.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
How stinking cute is
That
this?
is so cute. A lot of little cute tools to
Yes.
have on hand.
And students love to come in and just do this while they're talking.
I
It
know.
helps them-
Right? Who does it?
Yeah. Ah.
It's my turn.
Okay, go ahead.
I have found anger management cards.
I don't have that. Okay. I got 'em.
Anger
I got 'em.
management cards. Tools to calm your mind and body.
Oh my goodness, y'all.
Yeah, this is
This-
really fun.
Okay, so it says open the joy. Let's open these cards.
Open the joy. And
Y'all
it
have got to get one of these.
This is really cool. So orange is for calm your body, and
Okay.
then the green is for
Calm your mind. So name 5 things from the 5 following categories: feelings, animals, foods, shows, and 5 things you like about yourself. This is going to be so helpful for those students that come in.
yeah. Just pick a card and let's
Yeah.
play here. Yellow.
Repeat a funny phrase to
Take
yourself
a
like
mini break.
bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop, bloop. I love
I
this.
do too. Lot, really cute
This
cards.
card set alone is like,
The card set alone is wonderful.
I'm so impressed with this
I
box.
know.
All right, we've got stickers. We pulled those out at the
The
same
penguin
time.
is
Little
the,
penguin stickers. That was their theme for
their
this
theme.
month, they said.
Because of the weather.
Yeah.
So cool. We got
Okay.
lots of candy for I would say this is for the leader. The candy is for the leader. I got all kinds of little foodies in here.
Okay, look at these laminated cards. It's okay to feel frustrated by things that are new to me with cute little penguins on it.
I can release my worries and frustrations. I can handle difficult situations. So these are cute laminated cards.
These are going to be so helpful.
And you have the digital resource download for elementary lesson plan and the QR code, secondary lesson, community circle, and donation certificate. So that'd be interesting to delve in and see what that is all about. But
Lots of Swedish fish and
you're going to be so
goldfish.
jealous. Look at this.
How cute.
Look at this. So
A penguin scarf.
a penguin scarf.
And I was,
Is yours the same color? Cool.
oh yeah, oh, look at this. And a collagen mask.
Oh,
They
for that
do.
kid who needs,
No,
A
that's
little-
for me.
Oh,
'cause
okay.
These eyes.
because I got some kids that I'm like, we're gonna put a mask on you. You look stressed. Let's put a
How
cucumber mask.
cute.
How cute. Yes, we have a mask for the leader. So that was fun. Thank you.
So
Emo.
emo teacher box. And
Yeah.
oh my goodness, I am so impressed with you.
Yeah,
That's
this
a
is
lot of
fun.
stuff they packed into this box.
It is. It is a lot of stuff. So that's fun. So check it out. And we do hope to have a better sound thing going. So we follow us as we journey along our if it journey along or follow along or whatever we're doing as we try to get set up. So Laura, we have something in the works and I'm so excited about it. And because we use these all the time, we say work smarter, not harder, but we do work hard too. But we use clipboards a lot for lessons because a lot of times a teacher will come in and say, hey, I need something that students, and we may have another situation going on. And so we are preparing, and we will have these out in our TPT store. So we're preparing our clipboard lessons, and so we're excited about that. So that's something that'll be coming in the new year from us.
Yes. Last, a while back, I posted a picture of my clipboard wall, and we had so many people send us messages or comment on that saying, where can I get these? Like what's behind those, what's on those clipboards? Where can I get that? And so we have put this together and we are getting ready to release it. So stay tuned. We'll do a big social media post whenever it's posted. And if you haven't followed us on Teachers Pay Teachers, we are on there. And so you will get a notification once you follow us. You will get a notification whenever we do post this resource. Follow us on Facebook. Join our Facebook group. You can follow us on Instagram. We are active about once every quarter. Is how it goes. You can also join our email list, and I can safely say that we do not flood your inbox because we send out an email pretty much once a quarter on that too. So we do want to be sending you guys more giveaways, though, like more freebies. So join our email list so that you can get our freebies. One of the clipboard things that we were talking about may just land in your inbox. So make sure you are a subscriber to our email list. And that's it.